A proposed international airport at Taris would have serious impacts. But does Christchurch Airport have the social license they need to build it here? A new airport in Central Otago would have irreversible impacts which would reverberate for generations. So it's no surprise that industry analysts, business commentators and economists, local groups, media and even a government minister have all raised the issue of social license. There's no one agreed definition of social license. But at its heart is community acceptance. Trust is key. Social license means that the affected communities have a seat at the table and are saying, "Fine, go ahead, we're with you." So does this project have social license? The airport CEO says that communication is priority number one. All versions of their Taris Airport website since 2020 have promised early and ongoing engagement as well as a respectful approach to the affected communities. As a shareholding minister, the Minister for State-Owned Enterprises, David Clark, has made respectful engagement a mandatory requirement. So the benchmark is clear. But engagement has been problematic, at best, from the outset. There is broad concern that local communities are being shut out. One Taris local has described it as deception from day one. When news of the newly proposed airport broke, Taris locals invited Christchurch Airport executives to a town meeting. They were upset, angry, and wanted answers for their community. But they didn't get many. It wasn't a good look for Christchurch Airport. With community frustration high, local community group Sustainable Taris was formed. Since then, the community has asked for more public meetings. But Christchurch Airport has refused, opting instead for small, private meetings with carefully selected participants. Even the two business briefings in Cromwell and Wanaka were by invitation and required questions to be sent in advance. The Taris community has continued to ask for open, transparent, public meetings to discuss concerns and to have a real dialogue with airport executives about their project. Instead, the airport has preferred carefully curated marketing and PR, carefully controlling the message, leaving people feeling shut out. As this video goes to air, it has been 828 days since news of the airport broke, with no such open town hall session ever proactively organized by the airport. Even an impromptu Q&A session which members of the Taris community organized during an airport PR event 462 days ago was frustrating and fruitless. So that's 828 days without respectful, proactive engagement from the airport. Beyond Taris, a separate group of 1,200 concerned community members has formed. They seek respectful, meaningful engagement with Christchurch Airport. They haven't succeeded. Twice in the last 2 years, a long list of clear questions was sent to Christchurch Airport to make sense of the airport proposal. Both times, the dismissive reply from airport executives left the community group feeling stonewalled, shut out and disrespected. They were told to read the airport's website. Wanaka Stakeholders Group, with over 3,500 largely Central Otago members, has found that 74% oppose the plans at Taris. In Taris specifically, that number is 84%. An extensive independent report commissioned by QLDC found overwhelming opposition to a new airport within 2 hours of Queenstown. And importantly, the Minister for State-Owned Enterprises has written to Christchurch Airport noting that there is significant pushback from Central Otago communities around the proposed Taris Airport, even with the community consultations that CIAL has carried out. Beyond Central Otago, concerned people in Christchurch are astounded that as 75% owners of Christchurch Airport, Christchurch ratepayers are also in the dark. There are questions around the risk of lost dividend, possible rate increases, and long-term emissions liabilities. Christchurch city councillors have not debated this publicly. And the airport has ignored these questions. Separate environmental groups have protested at Christchurch City Council meetings and at the recent airport industry conference in Palmerston North. Academics and commentators have raised serious concerns about mass tourism and the environment, the economic burden of the airport on Christchurch ratepayers, and the need for social license in all affected communities. The Otago Daily Times, usually known for its support of business projects, has described the project as a reprehensible and greedy proposal and like a horror film. There is even significant pushback from industry experts, including the airport company's previous CEO and the past deputy CEO of Air New Zealand, both saying that the project does not stack up. Out of intense frustration, community members have now started lodging Official Information Act requests. But here too, there is growing concern that the airport is blocking and delaying information wherever possible. Requests have now gone directly to Central Otago District Council, Christchurch City Council and to the Airport Holding Company, CCHL, which has had a wave of management and board resignations in recent weeks, with an independent review of its governance processes also taking place. Christchurch Airport continues to refer concerned community members to its website, but concerned groups say that the website is superficial, lacking specifics and full of unsubstantiated claims. Meanwhile, Christchurch Airport has employed a local PR consultant. She has been attempting to run small focus group-style workshops which locals describe as secretive, selective, and ultimately about driving a pro-airport narrative rather than respectful dialogue. People in Taris worry that this narrative is being presented as fact to shareholders instead of what the community actually feels. They fear that when a formal consultation process comes, the airport will have essentially been decided upon, with too little time left for the community to be actively engaged, involved and heard. In Taris, a few pro-airport people have been handpicked. A community fund has been set up to distribute airport money to local groups. There have been small meetings with some businesses to introduce the possible benefits of an airport. But no engagement with the community groups that are asking for answers, and ironically no response to 3 separate requests to see Christchurch Airport's community engagement plan. For a project like this, social license is not optional. A new airport at Taris will directly impact Central Otago communities for decades to come. The project could send financial shockwaves to Christchurch ratepayers and businesses. While the airport CEO describes the project as intergenerational, locals are very concerned about the long-lasting impacts on community and environment long after current executives and board members will have moved on. It appears that social license is the throbbing Achilles heel of this airport proposal, so much so that even a government minister has flagged it. And with affected communities not supportive, surely this airport proposal must be abandoned by its Christchurch shareholders.
For more information, including detailed references and footnotes, follow the links shared with this video. All claims, facts and stats in this video are referenced for transparency. The lack of social license is only part of the story. Be sure to watch our previous episodes about the impacts of this proposal on greenhouse gas emissions and the risk to Christchurch ratepayers. In future episodes we plan to look closely at such issues as the business case, political aspects, wider environmental impacts, impact on communities, passenger demand issues, aviation technology, and much more. Stay tuned, and please share.